Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Tuesday, January 7th. High pressure will be holding pretty much to the end of the week. Now, with that, we do have inversions we're expecting to set up. Also, not necessarily widespread, especially this morning, but some pockets of stratus and some dense freezing fog will be likely over the next few days. Even with that ridge coming in, we do have a weak system crossing the area and really impacting the divide for the most part, and not really much going on our side of the divide anyway for this little system coming through on Wednesday. The next storm really impacts us later Friday into Saturday, and right now it's not a ton of moisture, but still adding to the snowpack here in central and eastern Idaho. Satellite shows generally northerly flow across our area, a little bit of moisture with that next little system approaching the west coast. A lot of low cloud cover, some fog across the area, and kind of give you an idea where you see the lighter grayish colors. At least that's to me. I know I'm a bit colorblind, so maybe different colors to some people. That's where we have some higher cloud cover, a little bit of mid-level clouds moving through the central mountains. Once you get into the Snake Plain, into the Magic and Treasure Valleys, the southeast corner, the bluish colors, the bluish gray colors, that's where we're seeing some fog and low clouds, and most of that is in the higher valleys of the higher elevations, and also generally from Pocatello to the south and to the west, with a pretty good north to northeast surface wind developing this morning over the Snake Plain, emptying out of the Montana area and the central mountains. Our weather risk outlook: the dense freezing fog is not widespread this morning. It's not expected to be widespread tomorrow morning, but where it is, there will be some impacts with some pretty low visibility. We've already seen some areas below 1/4 mile this morning. Now, with that system tomorrow, a little bit of light snow, maybe down into the southeast highlands, but most likely clipping up around Island Park over to Yellowstone and the Tetons. Also up in Lemhi County, maybe a few light snow showers or flurries in the higher elevations around Chalice and Mackay tomorrow. And then Thursday, a little bit of lingering light snow early on in the eastern highlands, and that chance of precipitation returning Friday into Saturday across the region. For today, anyway, we do have some colder temperatures coming our way, and especially where we get the colder, higher elevation temperatures, it'll be in the 20s. Where the inversions are starting to set up today, it won't get out of the mid-20s, and we still might be a little warm in some of these areas, even in portions of the upper Snake Plain. Once you get a little bit farther south and west, temperatures will be a bit warmer this afternoon. The low to mid-30s. Once you get over into the Treasure Valley, some low 40s trying to show up for this afternoon. Now, with that northerly wind emptying out of the Montana area and the central mountains, some of those gusts 25 to 35. Also, the northerly wind tends to pick up once it moves down towards the Utah border, and some of those gusts over 30 miles an hour around Sweetser, down towards Snowville, that particular area of the south central Idaho area. And those wind gusts will be strongest this morning, dying down a little bit this afternoon, and certainly into this evening, just some lingering gusts around 10 to 20 miles per hour in a few spots. For the tomorrow time frame, temperature-wise, you can see it's going to be a cold morning again in some areas below zero, and our colder spots also up across portions of the upper Snake Plain and into the eastern highlands. Once you, though, get to Pocatello south and west, teens to 20s for overnight lows. And that's where it'll be warmer tomorrow, low to mid-30s, a few 40s over into the western side of the Magic Valley and the Treasure Valley. But you can see with the inversion holding of the upper Snake Plain and some of the valleys of the eastern highlands, temperatures barely pushing out of the mid-20s tomorrow afternoon. And some of the more colder isolated valleys in the central mountains will be the same. But where we can get some mixing and above the inversion, temperatures tomorrow afternoon will be above freezing. For any moisture coming through that little system tomorrow, you'll notice it's up across the central mountains, up into Lemhi County, clipping the Island Park area, and certainly once you get up towards Big Sky in that area tomorrow afternoon. Similar for tomorrow evening, maybe just a little bit more moisture falling around Island Park over into Yellowstone, but certainly a little bit more once you get up towards Big Sky up north of West Yellowstone. For Thursday, those temperatures trying to moderate just a little bit, but you're not seeing a ton of movement temperature-wise, no big jumps, maybe just a handful of degrees from Wednesday into Thursday. And you can see where the inversion's holding. It's going to be in the 20s once again above the inversion. And once you get some mixing going, we'll see temperatures above freezing again for Thursday afternoon. And temperatures do moderate some going Friday into Saturday with that system coming through. But still, most of us will probably see snow with the system Friday into Saturday, maybe just warm enough south of the Snake Plain and also into the portions of the Magic and Treasure Valleys where you get a little rain-snow mix in the afternoon. Looking at some of the potential for that weekend system, we're going to look at the amount of moisture, not the snowfall amounts, but the liquid equivalent of that if you were to take the snow and melt it. Like I said, a few spots may see a rain-snow mix. With our system, this is a 24-hour total potential. This is looking at the chance, the probability, not any particular set amounts, just kind of looking at some different thresholds. For that 24-hour period ending Saturday afternoon, early Saturday evening, not much for the Snake Plain. These areas around 10 to 15% of a tenth of an inch or more. A little higher around American Falls up through Blackfoot as well and Rexburg. But you do see the pattern setting up, generally north of Galena Summit, up into the Sawtooth, the Stanley area, up into the Frank Church as well, and certainly up into the Panhandle and up towards Lost Trail Pass. The probability 30, 40, 50% or higher. And certainly once you get into the Eastern Highlands along the Wyoming border, also up around Island Park and down towards the Bear River Range, those percentages for more than a tenth jump above 60% or higher. If we run this threshold up to a quarter of an inch, you'll see pretty much not anything that heavy for the Snake Plain at all. Still seeing the pattern of up generally around Stanley to the north, and those percentages drop off to around 20 to 30% there. Higher percentages, 40% or higher for the Bear River Range, the Big Holes, the Tetons wrapping up back towards the Island Park, Sawtell Peak area as well. If we run this to around 0.4 of an inch, you can see those percentages really drop off, but still maybe 20, 30, 40% over into the Tetons and around Island Park as well. And certainly once you get back towards McCall, a little higher percentage of 0.4 or more with moisture taking that snow and melting it. Again, that's for that 24-hour period Friday into Saturday. So once again, high pressure for general holds for us. Inversion conditions, seeing some stratus and dense freezing fog in spots, and nothing terribly widespread at this point. We'll be monitoring that in the days to come with this ridge over us. That weak system tomorrow, a few showers up along the divide. The next chance of moisture for us, better chance, comes Friday into Saturday. Have a great day, and do stay safe out there, everyone.